intent. I have not yet used any malicious intent. For her to think that this is going to stop me from saying something either publicly or privately indicates one of two things to me. Either her mental understanding of me is grossly inadequate, or she doesn't understand my personality at all. So I'd like to place this on the agenda this afternoon to be
Good.
filed.
Anything else, Commissioner?
Engineers report.
All right.
Thank you, Commissioners. This may be my last report to this group of Commissioners. I want to offer you my thanks for all the support you've given me on the Phase 2 project and all the projects throughout the city of Millville. We've done a lot of good work together in the water utility, the sewer utility, and the streets and roads. Made a lot of positive improvements throughout the whole city. So I want to thank you for that support and the trust you placed in me. Also, I wanted to
You're welcome.
point out, thank you, Mayor. I wanted to point out a couple of very important parts of the Phase 2 project where your support and leadership allowed us to make significant improvements to the plant to help operations, the employees, and protect the river. We're upgrading all the tanks at the plant. The primary clarifiers were not part of the original project, and through change order work and value engineering, we were able to include those tanks in the project. Saying that, it means that those tanks will be online and operational between 2042. So we got 25 more years of life expectancy out of all the tanks at the plant, thanks to the commission. We also added the Kruger disc filters, or 25 micron effluent disc filters at the end of the plant to protect the Morris River watershed. They'll take out particulate matter down to blood cell diameter, so a significant improvement to the Morris River through our discharge. This is the report or update for today. There's a lot of photos showing construction that we're doing, piping, discharge piping on the Kruger effluent system, putting in slide gates, rebuilding the south primary clarifier, which should be done in the next 3 weeks. We had a plant shut down today, coordinated with operations. There's a lot of detailed construction work ongoing right now. We constructed the permanent plant bypass. It was something that NJDEP wanted it at the plant. That was done last week. There's photos of that on the back. There's a detailed description of a lot of the scheduling, so you can see the kind of detail that's involved at the construction level. Also, we're asking for approval for change order number 4 tonight at the commission meeting. That's for a deduct to the contract of $2,900 that we discussed at previous meetings. That's on the agenda for approval tonight. There will be one final change order for the project, a non-compensable time extension that will allow us to go past substantial completion due to the Kruger disc filter addition to the project. As I said at other meetings, those filters were added to protect the watershed, the Morris River watershed. They're en route right now from Germany, so they won't be here in time to be installed by that substantial completion deadline. And since that was an owner-initiated change, we can't hold the contractor to that deadline for that. So that'll be, towards the end of the job, we'll have that change order. That's just a brief overview, Commissioners. If you have any questions, but once again, I want to thank you for your support on the Phase 2 and all the projects at the city.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you, Joe. You too.
Hello. Just want to go over the landscaping contract that went out. We actually have a pre-bid meeting for that on Thursday. Talking with Sam Cruz, will be in attendance to that, and the solid waste contract. We're actually still compiling some numbers. We usually give out municipal data over the past 5 years of the tonnage, and we make that part of the bid information, for the bidders to have. So we have that, I think, all but 1 month, so, and I just want to confirm the numbers as well as we compiled the residential units and the multifamily units. So I've been talked with the tax assessment office on that for any small changes. And just wanted to confirm, and I talked with the solicitor a little bit earlier about as far as I know there's the ordinances were passed for the multifamily units, the requirement for them providing their own solid waste management. So I want to make sure all those numbers jived in the contract. So we have the spec, it's just the numbers that had to be updated. So that's the status of that project. And I did see the correspondence from the Industrial Commission on the, and I've talked with our surveyor about what would be required for subdivision. And we'll just have to see also if there's any preliminary engineering on that. But yeah, we'll work with Industrial Commission to accommodate that interested developer there. And there's also another correspondence from Industrial Commission on the shown property. And we do have the proposal, phase 1 for all the materials to be separated out at the shown property, the petroleum-based, whatever has to be disposed of, and then just the regular waste. So that would be money the city would put up front. And I know that was under 5,000, so that's, if we're ready to do that, we can go ahead and have the consultant do that part of the work.
You say you do have a proposal?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And that's the final, that's all you have to do, and then it can be ready to be sold?
No, then that's to get it ready for, then there's a phase 2 to that proposal, and then they don't have amount on that because they don't know the amount of the petroleum materials that would have to be, once they compile it they put it all in one location on the site, and then they can determine an amount for that. So there'll be another amount to get rid of that. And then the funding, the HTSRF funding kicks in, because once you get that initial cleanup of the site, then they can go in and do their soil borings and the site investigation. Now they'll determine if there's more subsurface that has to be cleaned up. But that part is covered by the grant.
And the initial that they're doing now is not?
Right.
I thought that it did the initial evaluation, though, also.
Yeah, and speaking with the consultant, it sounds like that initial part wasn't covered under the grant. Like they can't really do their boring and subsurface work until that initial surface part is cleaned up. That's my understanding.
But the city's already secured the grant money, right, for the subsurface cleanup?
Yes, that's yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It was my understanding that that grant that we received already just covered the below ground. We had to come up with the money to clean up the above ground contaminants.
They didn't realize there would be above ground, okay.
Right. I guess there's containers or barrels or something, some kind of product, right?
Yeah, typical of like an auto body shop.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, paints and solvents and stuff.
Right, there's, yeah. And they're kind of the main items.
I'm sorry, and once they start doing the borings, how long because this has been going on for 4 years so far, so I'm just wondering, is there an end in sight? Like, when they start doing the borings, then that can take another 2 years, or is it a easy process, or it depends?
Yeah, that part I'm not sure of. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, until they get it, I don't think there's extensive contamination. I mean,
We'll be dead
there.
Is that, okay. I just wonder if anything will get done.
Yeah. I mean, I
I
think
spent the one thing.
yeah. I mean, it's a shame the grant didn't cover the initial. I think that was the holdup, is those initial funds that have to go out. With all that was covered, I think it would be a much quicker process. But, and you also see a payment for the roof project. There's still some monies left. There'll have to be a final change order or closeout for that, but this will get them paid up to date. You'll see that on the agenda. That's the Art Center roof. And they did do, I think I mentioned last time, there was a leak and there was some internal, damage, which they did fix. They put up the ceiling tiles and sheetrock. That's all I have right now, unless you have some other questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Anything else, Commissioner?
That's it for me.
Commissioner Perry.
Regina, I wanted to know about the public defender's bid. You were going to find out because one bid said they would take the fee that was being paid this year, but then they put in $400, and the fee this year is only $295.
The fee was $343 this year, but I
Okay.
think
Oh, they
they're
went down?
requesting $400. I've confirmed that, so.
Okay, so the bid was worded
Right.
strange. And how many sessions are there a year?
I want to say 96, but I don't want to swear to that on the court.
Okay.
I'm not absolutely sure. I think it's approximately 96, but I'm
Okay.
not sure. It's usually about 30 to 33,000, I think, annually.
Well, it depends on what the bid is.
Right, but I want to
That's
say
it
when it was
too.
343, we were paying in that,
Okay, so it depends on, you have to do the math backwards. Okay, and then, I didn't know, Marcy, I didn't understand some of the accounts that are being closed out, we owe those contractors money, so I didn't know on why you were closing them one out.
Those were 16 contracts that ended December 31st, 2016.
So you can't roll the money over?
Roll over the money.
Okay. And then I guess too, with the escrow accounts, now I know we haven't been doing a lot of them, but I guess is there a procedure in place so the issues that happened this week won't happen again? Like is, some of the money that had to be paid that was a part of a bill should have been paid out of escrow, so I didn't know if there's a procedure.
Well, the bill was not paid, so when we got the bill, it specifically said the developer's name. So then we know to charge it to the developer, but
So-
accounts payable people don't know to go through a bill and be able to pick out. It has to be billed separate, and that was the issue.
Okay, all right. So we'll get there. And then the GIF dividend, I guess there's a choice about how to receive it. Did the city already decide how they're going to receive it?
I spoke with Marcy, and we have always in the past applied it to our the following year's billing.
Oh, and so it just rolls over and decreases what we'll owe them?
Right, and shows in the first quarter as a credit.
That's how we always did it in the past. I mean, it was never this large. This is the largest we've received.
And she anticipates it in the budget less, like she already has the number. And the mayor does have to sign for that
Correct.
approval.
Yeah, and I guess I was just told today that the GIF's going to make us do some extra things with the computer, so it's going to cost us more money coming up. I guess I don't like that the GIF seems to be telling us always what to do, how to settle lawsuits.
Well,
We always have to follow what they say.
we don't have to follow. I mean, they're advising us that cybersecurity is becoming a big issue, and they're rolling out a new product. Our premium is less this year than it was last year, and it includes this coverage. It also has given us guidelines on how to protect ourselves and educating the employees. And
I guess I was told to implement it, it's going to be expensive for the city.
that's possible. I sent it to the IT department. I don't know. But you have a choice on implementing that. That implementation just helps you with getting a less of a deductible. If you choose not to implement it, you're still covered, but your deductible is higher.
So either way, they have us.
Right.
Sure,
So,
when they see
and they
the
are going to give you
protocols,
a
that's
certain amount a year. It's not a lot, like $750 to implement it. But I asked I forwarded the email this morning to Michael and asked to meet with SSI and Michael early in January to find out what it looks like for the city, like what we're going to have to do.
Okay. And then I guess too, is there, Jeannie, is there a process in place to make sure that the city gets the paperwork that's due from all these? Because, for example, the lead boy never gave us an audit yet. So is there some kind of procedure in place that somebody sends a letter out every year when that information's due, or?
No, but we can do something like that. That's not a problem.
So you can set that up when you're organizing all your
Absolutely.
files? So that way then, because I just know little things get overlooked.
Yep.
Okay. And then I had an issue with the zoning board. There's supposed to be 7 regular members and 4 alternates, and then the wording of the resolution tonight makes one of the members that I believe is supposed to stay as an alternate a regular member. So if I'm counting right, or if someone isn't on the board that is on the list, it would make it 8 members.
I thought 2 of them were being moved up from alternate to regular membership.
There aren't 2 spots. How you
I-
moving them up if there aren't spots?
I
guess.
thought there were, according to the boards and commissions I had, and there was.
According
So
to
let
the
me
list-
look. I have it here.
So maybe I'm counting wrong?
So there's supposed to be 7 on the zoning board with 4 alternates?
I thought that was changed to 2 alternates. It stayed at 4.
When I talked to the zoning board secretary, she said it was 7 regular and 4 unless she gave me wrong information, but I don't think we upped the number of board members to 9, did we?
No, I believe it's 7. Let me see. Let me see. So, 1, 2, 3.
You're looking at the Board of Adjustment, there can only be 7 members, and then there's 4 alternates.
7 and 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 7 and 4.
Right, so you appointed 2 new as regular members. Sheila Roselle's normally an alternate. You have her down to become a regular member, or maybe it's just the wording on the resolution.
Okay.
You can appoint an alternate, someone that was an alternate before can be appointed a regular member if there's a vacancy. I mean, that frequently will happen.
But there was not a vacancy. That's my question. There wasn't a
Then they can
vacancy.
only be an alternate again, unless, if they're not filling, because there can only be 7 members on that board. The planning board has more. And the planning board is the mayor's board.
Right.
The mayor makes the appointments. The Board of Adjustment is different, only can have 7 members. It's more independent.
Okay,
than the
so-
planning
So I guess the
board.
commissioner is saying that we have 9.
No, I'm saying
No,
there's
there's-
7 and you're trying to appoint 8.
No.
8. I see
8.
what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, that's too many. You
So we can
have
only
7
bring one
regular
up.
members.
Helen
You can't
was-
bring any up because Pauline Velez is already a regular member and you have down to reappoint her, so you can't bring anybody up. If you're going to reappoint Sheila Roselle, she has to stay as an alternate.
Okay,
Right,
I see.
she
What,
could
okay,
be-
so there.
You understand?
But there would be,
Yeah.
but there is a vacant alt 3 and a vacant alt 4.
Correct,
so
but you did-
Todd Oliver could actually be. Okay, there was an extra spot on here on the boards and commissions. My
Yeah, there's a
apologies.
gap for some reason. There is
Okay.
a space how they print it out, but
Okay.
there's no person that
Right.
fits in
so,
that space.
Okay, so now I'm seeing that. So Todd Oliver could be appointed as an alt 3.
Correct.
Okay.
And then-
and we can change that resolution.
And then just for the record, the normal procedure has been in the past that when the alternates served their time, they would move up to a regular board spot. So
Right.
they were also bumping over someone who has served for a period of time and was alternate 1 and making Sheila's alternate 2, and you were making her a regular board member and overlooking the alternate 1 member. So I didn't know if the procedure wasn't going to be. We're not doing
I have
it.
Pauline Velez as a regular member.
No, and you're going to do it, but what I'm saying to you is you made, Sheila Roselle was made a regular member. She's alternate 2.
Right.
If the proper procedure was followed, the alternate 1 member should have taken any vacancy, and Sheila would have just moved up to the
I see
next
what you're
alternate
saying.
spot.
Okay, I was looking more at the expiration rather than the position, but I'll have to get with Nicole Almanza about that too, 'cause she's the secretary of the board. So typically, I would get a request from that person because she knows the dealings of her board.
Yeah, she knows. I don't know.
Right,
So it must have
so-
just been a misunderstanding.
Okay.
So what are the resolutions going to say now?
So I have to redo them.
So they'll have to be redone.
What are they going to say?
Well, that's up to you guys.
Well, Todd Oliver's going to be a 3, alternate 3?
So,
what you're saying?
if that's what you want.
Yes.
Okay. He'll be an alt 3. And then, are we moving Tim Cardy up to a regular member?
No, there's no vacancy.
There's no vacancy. Tim
Just
Cardy
just
has to
say-
stay 1. I was just
Yeah.
talking
Okay.
in the future.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Just so everyone's aware of what the protocol was we did for the
Okay.
past 4 years. I do not know
Okay.
what the new protocol will
Okay,
be.
so then Pauline and Sheila will
We'll definitely look at it.
be reappointed as alt 2 and regular member. Okay. Does that sound right?
So Sheila's going to be, according to this resolution,
Alt 2.
alt 2.
Pauline's a regular member and will stay a regular member. And Todd Oliver will fall into the alt 3. Okay? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Judge Witcher, we received a report from him yesterday,
Yes,
which is
he
a
wanted
very
to added to the regular.
Yes, please. It's a very positive report. He's making great progress with the court system, so I think the public should be well aware of that.
Okay, we'll add that to the regular meeting.
And then, I guess, and you were going to add those 2 items to the November 21st agenda online. That wasn't done yet. Did you-
That's in Laura's to-do box. We've been
Okay.
shorthanded.
I would just feel better if I saw it done before I leave.
Okay, well, I'll let Laura know.
Or I will, either one. Thank you. And that's it.
I'll move on. New business, please.
Okay, we have no new business, Mayor.
All right. We've now reached the public, well, we'll skip that.
Why,
We'll go into the,
why are you skipping the public portion?
Well, we can go to resolution and come back and let them speak then, or would you rather speak now? All right. We have now reached the public comment portion of the meeting. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name, and address your concerns, and please limit your comments to 5 minutes. Seeing no one, I close the public portion. Resolution 1.
We have a resolution authorizing a closed session regarding GGI possible settlement agreement under litigation exemption. I need a
Second?
Second.
okay.
All right. Roll into it. Roll call.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Camperi?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Absolutely, yes. Do it, fun, fun, fun.
All right, so, I need to go talk to Laura real quick to make some adjustments, and then I'll
This
be
is all we have. After this, we're done. Take your time. See you back at 6:15. It's all Lou Magazine right there. The man, the legend, the guy in his holiday sweater.
At least you didn't wear a Christmas tie.
He's here. What? You're getting better and better. What's up, Liz? Yeah. Awesome. Isn't he a super nice guy?
See?
He's
Except on Thanksgiving. So
He's a good man. Fanucci's a good guy.
Well, he said, what can we do?
Got a lot of respect for him.
He likes you too.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for that guy.
All right. So we're here. I'm looking for Anthony.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if we can help their problem out because they're gonna lose $1 million.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Jerry Cavallo.
Oh, Jerry?
He wants to develop, well, I'm working on selling this farm. But that's the Greenland Lobster. And he wants to develop a house on his mom's property, like subdivide it.
Okay.
So I gotta start looking into what has to be done.
Jerry's a good guy.
I said, well, you would need, like, if you put a modular there, you need like a general contractor, you need something.
Yeah, you on your way?
An engineering firm. He goes, why is Wayne? You, so we were talking about it.
I know him and his wife, Deanne. Good people. He was cooking at the church barbecue I went to in the heat. It was like 96 degrees. He was cooking, him and his wife, cooking hot Italian sausage. At the Padre Pio Festival over there. It was so hot that day. Oh my.
Who do I talk to with violence to get an opinion?
Violent?
Yeah, is it legal? Is it big enough, that stuff? He can't find any, so I'm gonna, I need to talk with like Joe.
DJ, right?
Gary.
Fucking
Hello, Gary. How are you?
Dave Mallett,
Good. Is the Nichols still following up the road?
Fire and Engineering Department.
Is the Nichols and Dimes still?
We call him
the Nichols
DJ.
and Dimes still following up the road?
His real name's Dave Mallett.
The Nichols and Dimes.
Ask for DJ, tell him Brian sent you. Don't tell him I sent you, he likes it.
I'm gonna wire you.
Was he?
like a closet. And then I went up the second time, and they moved. They had this giant office. It's like as big as this room or bigger. Like they moved in somewhere. It's beautiful. I'm
Yeah.
like, my God, you guys upgraded. What's happening? It's my holiday party sweater.
How you doing?
How you doing? All right. Good. Good.
Hi, Mr. Magazine.
No, only my dad was Mr. Magazine.
I knew your dad. I used to work with him
At LSA.
at the LSA.
Wow,
That's
you
great.
must have been like a kid
Yeah, I was a kid.
with Schwartzy, right?
You know, Bobby, yeah.
He's still working. He retired.
He's still working.
He's gonna
You
work
know,
for
Bobby was my football coach in midget league.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I thought he'd be close to retiring pretty soon.
he is. He just won't leave.
Well, when my dad was the lawyer for LSA, he always brought candy to the meetings, and it kept his job, I think, made it popular because he brought them candy. But wow, he's been there. He's got to been there 40 years. Schwartz.
Over 40, yeah. Like 42 years.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, 42 years. Yeah.
God bless him. So how you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, good. He's a grandpa.
Oh,
I am for
yeah.
the first time.
Congratulations.
That's
Wow.
amazing. 4 months old.
That changes everything, doesn't it?
Well, you know, it does, but this Christmas, he's not going to have any idea. But maybe not next year, but the year after, I'm going to be a crazy man.
Okay.
You know, I figured I got to buy another house just to put the toys in 10 years from now. My
Oh, yeah.
granddaughter's 14 months, so she'll enjoy it. Yeah, I figured 4 months, maybe next year a little bit, and then the year after they're really cognizant of what's going on.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So,
That's
pretty
nice.
neat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. All my friends who are grandparents tell me it's a game changer.
Yeah.
It's a whole different feel. Well,
All my friends tell me
our
that.
kids were in each other's weddings and stuff.
Yes.
And you watch them going and partying,
Yeah.
drinking, and doing all this stuff, and now they're all parents.
Responsible.
And they're all
Yeah.
so different.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
my son.
My son Joey, who is my second son, he was born like an old man. I mean, we named him after my father, and he has the same person. He was been like this from like day one. So they're all good kids, but he's the one. I told him when I die, he's the guy that runs the. Not that there's gonna be much to leave, but whatever is left, he's the guy in charge. Because I
Yeah.
know he won't burn it up. The rest of it, I have nerves about. So,
All
good
right.
to see you guys.
You guys have a blessed holiday. Merry
Yeah, you
Christmas.
too, huh?
Okay?
This is what it's all about, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice seeing you again.
Glad to connect anybody who worked with my dad.
Yeah.
Thanks. Take care. See
He's
you
a nice
later.
man. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I miss it. He's been gone a long time, 1990, but people liked him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. So how you been? Everybody good?
excited to be here.
The good thing is, I'm a Facebook freak, and I follow all the news. That's a huge cloud. So I think it's less than I thought it was.
I was shocked. I called him and said, how can you win? You were right. Because I told him the same thing. Yeah, I was not consulted, but when I saw it on TV, I called him and said, hey, he said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, you know, I've been out 7 years, so maybe I'm wrong. I said, I haven't told anybody. You know, no, I stopped to tell him. I talked to him a lot. Because he got fired. Yeah. It was personal.
I told Doug, I said, there's two people in Millville that like you a lot. It's me and my wife.
We're the two.
I heard music.
He's,
Oh my God, they were listening to that whole thing. He said, well, the daddy daughter, oh, is that true? I didn't realize how that was going to blow up because it was true. I just approved it. She said she didn't vote. She said no.
oh my God.
That's what I think, Mom. I went,
I would be curious too if it was me. Oh, shit. Well, when I saw it on TV, I called him and said, you left me on fire. I said, what am I doing? I said, okay, well, listen,
I'm tired. They rent an hour of the radio and buy the radio. I don't want to problem Saturday night because I had no TV to go in there. It
what do
wasn't
you
mine.
get for it?
I can't have that. I had money from doing that. He paid for it. And he spent all the time himself. Yes, he's a psycho.
Oh, he is. Take no prisoners.
Because I'm no pussy. And that's what attracts me to him.
See, the thing is,
And he's just a
I'm
psycho.
not. I was tough. I'm the toughest guy that ever came to the county. And he makes me look like, you know, crazy. I think it's unbelievable. I told him that. I said, "Fuck." He said that I was the one. I'm down with that. Hey, buddy. Mark? Good.
Our sons,
Call me back.
our sons are like
Call me.
almost best friends.
Who?
Lou Mangus is junior.
Oh,
And
yeah?
my son, they were at each other's weddings.
How the heck did that happen?
They both-
And he from Violent, you're from
We don't
Millville?
care.
Well, my son went to prep
Oh, okay, that's how they met.
and, so my son wanted to go to prep. He was in 7th grade. He decided to go to prep. So he, in 8th grade, went to St. Francis so that he would be used to Catholic school. And he was an honor student at Brick Avenue. And when he went to St. Francis, they kept him in a lunch bag at his home. And what they may need is an SI. That would be logical. He was so far behind in English. He couldn't keep up
Because
in
the novel
Catholic
school
school.
system and,
And
really?
he was an honor student.
He was an honor
He got
student.
rec-
That,
there
what'd
was-
that tell you about the novel
There was
board?
four kids in 7th grade that got honored in English, and then he got tutored in 8th grade.
What was he saying about how they're seeing tools?
Just now, Lewis?
No, who was the Blake? Her name said something about her name. I didn't know. She was all right. She was saying something like, maybe it was with Brock and like, I think you might have been talking to Brock and then like going and said something. I don't know.
That's fine. I love this how they leave it on this stuff.
This guy here.
No question.
We're still streaming
Huh?
on YouTube.
Te voy a llamar, te voy a... No, 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 no.
So, but if I get, so what I'm gonna try to do is get both of you guys in January under the theory of breaking the guys, and, Art Wilburn called a couple of our members. There's like, just, what do we open? I'm saying, he's got a company that's moves so much more active in his group, as opposed to Santa group, and I'm bringing him in by personality. But Hans Nilsson, of the Point Grants Alliance and Trent, they would never let him in because they think of
Hey, no,
my view is Hans is having.
Where's everyone? I can't get a hold of anyone.
So I'm playing with some bylaws a little bit, making it, like the first year, it was framed with.
Can you drop it off at City Hall? I'm on the fourth floor. Just call me when you're outside of the elevator and I'll come out. Okay? Or if you want to come inside, just call me. I have to spend no saying no.
Oh, good, yeah, and he sent a letter. Yeah. 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 Yeah, he sent email names from my center of the board, which is very helpful. So, and I'm gonna try to get both of you at the same time, bring in your quality, and also frankly, it brings our age group down. You gotta have some 40-year-old guys. You're still 40, in your 40s, right? Or you're in your 50s? Are you really? Well, you know what, you just look, you look like a young stud. You know, after, shit, I made you three wives ago. So, exactly. All right, man, so listen, we'll keep our fingers crossed. I'm doing everything I can to make this other thing happen. If they get the extension, I will make that. So, yeah, and get used on it. I gotta be getting nice. If not, we'll call school. Wayne said he didn't. Yeah, Wayne Johnson was looking at it. You know, I had this happen once, and I'm not such a I brought him in, remember, he said, we just don't, and then it was over. Yeah, I got exploded. So, I said,
And this was actually the top.
I had him say the same.
That's
thing.
right, I forgot they had it.
Yeah. So I had him come to a pre-op meeting, and he said the same thing. That's wrong with me. So that's why people love me so much. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, listen, I will, I'll keep you posted. I think that's the word. All my kids' friends are all having kids. Oh, my sons, they're 30, so.
Hey guys, you wanna come in?
I gotta run in. Yeah, all right, man. I'll talk to you. Thanks. I'll see you. All right, buddy. Good luck. Showtime. All right. Oh, wow.
room called?
The commission chambers.
Thank you. I'm coming.
It's actually the fourth floor. So they get on the elevator and come to the floor.
Thank you. Thank you.
By the way, when you're not here, you're representing very well. I'm on the planning board.
Oh, with Emily? Oh,
Yeah,
thank
she's
you. Oh, that's so
amazing.
nice. That's so
She's
nice.
amazing.
Thank
They
you.
don't need you.
Thank you.
That was, Roy Carden dropped that off to me today. It was just a recap of conversation that we had.
Yeah, but not
Last week in the industrial commission, company, LKQ, they're ready to go.
Okay.
When I go up here. I'll find my way out eventually.
Okay. Although,
Did we close it?
I don't know. I know,
I was
that's
gonna
right.
say,
Where are you
I was-
going? Motion, we need one more person. Motion to adjourn.
I think
You can do
that-
it, Mayor.
Motion to
Well, we only
adjourn?
have two.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye, aye, aye,